Hello, hello, hello. I thought today's podcast, it would be good to do a declutter podcast for 2025. So at the time of filming, it's the 20th of December. So 2025 isn't too far away. And decluttering is something I've done for the past few years effectively. I've had much more success the past few years than probably what I have had prior to that. And, you know, I mean, you can do it any time of year. Some people kind of do it like as a spring clean. You know, if you're wanting to start 2025 a little bit different, you know, perhaps decluttering is something that you want to consider. And, you know, that can either be emotional baggage, it could be people, it could be physical things, whatever you need to declutter. It doesn't have to be, when people think of it, it's like, I have to physically get rid of something, and it's not necessarily that at all. It can be emotional, you know, anything that's no longer serving you. So 2025 is, you know, could be a good year for you to declutter some things. And I'm not saying you have to go gung-ho and declutter everything. You just want to, you know, there might be something that comes top of your mind, and perhaps you want to start with that. So you can just start with one thing. You don't have to do all the things. So I'm just going to give you some tips today that you may want to use to declutter for 2025. So one of the things I said was things. When people think declutter, usually they just think of physical items. So probably likely you've accumulated a lot of things over the years, and, you know, they may not necessarily serve you anymore if they had at all. You know, Christmas time, we seem to get presents that we don't want. I kind of stopped doing that because I'm like, well, if I want something, I'm probably going to go buy it myself. So if there's nothing I physically want, like I say, like I literally don't want anything, because you're going to buy something for the sake of buying something, and I'm not going to want to, like, I don't want it. It's going to be a waste of money. You know, just wish me a Merry Christmas or something like that. So consider maybe gift giving. This year, it's probably a little bit late given Christmas is only a few days away, but, you know, for next time or for birthdays, you know, you might want to go, hey, you know, I want a gift voucher to this place, or I don't know, I want to go for the beach for the day for my birthday, whatever it is. So think of occasions for that. So you're just not receiving things that you may not want to receive, or if there's something that you really want, it might be, hey, I really want this thing. It would be great if you can contribute towards it or buy it, depending on what it is, price, who, and all that stuff. So, but having that, especially if it's clutter, it can stress you out. And if you're starting your day with that, so, you know, if you wake up and you make a cup of tea and you're opening the cupboard and you're hoping for the best that all the mugs aren't going to come out because they're all piled in there, you're starting your day stressed already, because you're trying to juggle the cup's not falling out of the cupboard to then grab one, and then, you know, one smashes, you're probably going to have the shits for the whole day. I know I probably would. So think about just simple things like that, you know, like if, you know, your cup drawer, your mug drawer is not organized, maybe organize that so you're starting your day happy. It's like, cool, I can open this up. Yeah, there's my mug, done. I don't have to, you know, worry about smashing something because, you know, there's 50 million mugs in this small cupboard. So, you know, think about something like that. Even that can make a really big difference in your day. And yeah, like disorganization is a big one. I'm definitely not perfect, but I'm better than what I am. And you know, I'm that person who until recently, although I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. So I now have 16 tabs back on my Google Chrome. I was down to a couple the other day. I think my phone, I'm on like 200 and something tabs. Because like I have to go back to that at some point, right? But I've actually started even decluttering that. So when I've been looking at my Google Chrome, I'm not so overwhelmed because there's not so many tabs and stuff open. Haven't ventured onto my phone yet. Hopefully I'll have time in the holidays to declutter those tabs, but I have like 50 million screenshots of stuff that I, apparently want to get to at one stage as well. But I've actually started using like an online system to making that easier. So, if it was a link, it's like, well, I need to go back to that link. Where's that link going to go? You don't want like a Word document with a shit ton of links in there. So I've started to use a program where I put the links on there. So that's made a really big difference. So it could be something simple like that. It might be keeping a diary. It might be like a calendar. It might be like a family calendar. So, if you're sick of, people making, I don't know, things to do on like a day that you got a pile of sport, chuck that in the calendar. And I was like, hey, how about you check here before, you commit us to other things. So, family calendar might be something that's really simple. It's pretty easy to set up on an iPhone. I'm assuming like a Samsung is probably very similar. So yeah, think about that. Just tackle an area at a time. As I said, like if you're getting a coffee in the morning or a cup of tea and that, the mug cupboard stresses you out, fix it. Or maybe the night before, get your mug out and have it on the bench so it's ready to go the next day. If you're desperately trying to find clothes to wear, so I will generally pick up my clothes the night before. So when I wake up, I don't have to think about what I'm going to wear. I just have breakfast, or well, I don't eat breakfast, but like I'll have a shower or whatever, I'll get ready, my clothes are done, and then I'm out the door. So something like that might be really helpful as well. Sorting your cupboard into like personal and like work as well. That might make a difference. If you just chuck your clothes anywhere, you might want to sort it by, personal clothes and like what you wear to work. That's another idea. And you'll feel so much lighter when you start to do it. So it honestly feels so much better because then you don't have that clutter, you don't have that disorganization, and it just makes your day flow so much easier. A few years ago, well, actually like the Home Edit. So if you have, I think it's on Netflix, the Home Edit is a really good show if you kind of like want organizing ideas. Marie Kondo, you can take her approach. Does this spark joy? So you might have something, yep, cool, does this spark joy? Nah, get rid of it, donate it, whatever it might be. So, if it doesn't spark your joy, you might want to consider, donating it or, re-gifting it or something like that, depending on what it is. Yeah, and I mentioned the digital side. So like your emails, I do my best to have minimal emails. It's difficult because I do get a lot of emails per day. But, starting your day off with minimal unread emails can make a difference. Unsubscribe from things. So if you're constantly going into your email account and just deleting stuff because you've subscribed to something, if you don't want it, just unsubscribe. So that's going to help you declutter what's in your inbox as well, or block things, whatever it is that you need to do. So delete apps from your phone. If there's apps that you're not using, maybe delete them. You can pop them back on anyway if you decide to change your mind. Or organizing your app. So I actually have folders. So I'm partly organized for things and for other things I'm not, but I actually have folders in my phone for various things. So I know that if I need to find something, like, I know what folder to go in, or you can set them up as widgets as well. There's probably a pile of other things iPhone does. I probably should ask my kids because they seem to know more than me. But, setting up stuff on your phone could make a really big difference as well. I know I've started to declutter. So when I do the pays for the businesses each week, there's a pile of people on there that I haven't had anything to do with for forever, that I've had to ex-staff members, or, I've had to pay for something in the past and I've saved it as like a favorite or something. I've even started to declutter from that. So when I go to pay somebody, it's just the people that I usually pay. It's not some random from 9 years ago. So it can be pretty satisfying. The whole thing can be pretty satisfying, actually. So that's kind of the physical things. Decluttering people. So this is something I've done pretty well successful for the past few years, I think. And not everybody will probably agree with it, and that's completely fine. But I have decluttered people. So I have broken up with clients who think that they're entitled and can't be bothered saying thank you or hi or anything like that. You know, they're really not appreciating the work that we do. Everything has to be dropped for them. They're the only client in the world. Like, it was really draining. And, you know, I'd kind of confront them. Hey, like, you're trying to make us pull miracles out of a hat, like, you know, last minute. Or each year we'll have like the same people contact us. Hey, like, I need to get that done. I'm like, we spoke to you last Christmas. Like, we're closing today. Like, we have the same conversations each year. So things like that. So I have decluttered clients that no longer service, who don't appreciate myself and my team. So that's felt really good. And I'm in a position to be able to do that. So perhaps you're not, but, you know, we're pretty good with our clients. You know, if our gut says no, we don't act for them. But we've definitely put up with people who think they're entitled and they're unappreciative. And it's like, you know what, you're like zapping my energy. You're not sparking my joy. We'll finish what we've got and then you need to find somebody else. So that conversation I've gotten a lot better at having. So, you know, I don't want to lose team members over, you know, a client that, I don't know, that speaks to them poorly. So clients is one thing. Friends or acquaintances, I've had a massive declutter on Instagram and Facebook. I was like 1,000 or something, I think, on Facebook, and now I'm down to like 200 and something. It probably needs to be decluttered more than that. Like, if I was to die today, I don't think 200 people would rock up at my funeral. But decluttering that has been really good. And names in my phone as well. I've been decluttering them just because, like, there's phone numbers in there since I was like 17 when I first got a phone. Like, so, you know, most of those phone numbers wouldn't even work. So even that feels really good. The messages, so you might have like a pile of messages on your phone, like, I'll, you know, delete them. That feels really good as well. But yeah, so people, like, you know, if there's a friend or an acquaintance that might make you feel shit, or they may take you for, you know, granted, or think that they're better than you or whatever. In my opinion, no one's better than anybody else. So we all have our each individual skills, but, you know, just because I'm a lawyer doesn't mean that I'm better off than the guy that delivers my mail or the person that serves me at Woolworths. Like, you know, I used to work at Big W, I was the same person. I don't think I was better or worse than anybody else. So to me, it's, if you think you're entitled, then we're probably not going to be able to do business or like talk, like be friends. Like, I don't get it. To me, everybody is equal. We are better at some things than others. We are more successful with other things than some people, but that doesn't mean that we're entitled. So, yeah, consider possibly friends. The next one's family. So, yeah, so some people are cool with it. Some people are not. Family is everything. To me, it's kind of in the same category as friends. So if you have family members who are horrible and treat you like shit and, you know, think that they're above you and, you know, practically everything we've just discussed, you know, maybe kind of have less to do with them or completely cut them out of your life. You know, friends can easily be family as well. You know, in my opinion, you don't have to be blood to be family. So, as I said, some people, it's probably about 50-50, I reckon. And if you've got a great family, then like, hats off to you. You appreciate that, because a lot of people don't have amazing families. So if you don't have issues with family members, congratulations. Like, that would be amazing. Like, so don't lose that. But yeah, if you have toxic people in your life, whether that's friends, clients, family, consider maybe spending a little less time with them, or, you know, maybe approach them. Hey, every time we talk, you think you're better than me. It's annoying. They react and say, I am. I'm like, cool, righto, thanks. You just made the decision for me, you know. Or some of you just may not want to confront them at all, and that's cool as well. But, you know, there's people that deplete your energy, people that lie to you, people that talk behind your back, like all the shit that you go through at school still happens in adult life. So, it doesn't go away. Adult bullying is also a thing. It's probably just as bad as, school bullying. It's like really disgusting. So, think about that as well. If you're in a toxic workplace, you might want to go to another workplace if you're able to do that. But yeah, you definitely shouldn't have to be putting up with toxic or negative or narcissistic people if they don't spark your joy. So don't be scared of decluttering people, even setting boundaries. So you might be, so we're like in a household, we're trying to, phone's away at 5. I should be reasonably done with work by then. Phone's away at 5. If we're sitting down for tea or watching TV, we don't have our phones. So that's something that we've done. I suppose that's more of I don't know what that is. Maybe it's a bit of a detox more than like a boundary. We're about to go on Christmas break and everyone's like, yep, cool. So you can still do stuff during the holidays. I'm like, no, this is my holidays. This is like about the only time I get to spend with my family where I don't have work. No, I'm not available, or no, my team's not available, whatever that means. So having those boundaries, and if you haven't done that, it's probably going to be awkward and hard. And then the people that you're enforcing the boundaries to could get their shits. It's like, well, what makes you so good? They may kind of turn it back on you. So, be prepared for that as well. But boundaries is definitely something that's important. It's something that I've definitely gotten better at. I was definitely you can contact me anytime type of lawyer with my clients. And most of the time it wasn't appreciated. I'll put my out of office on and, they think that I'm going to respond. And, I have set that expectation that I will. But lately it's like, if my out of office is on, it's on. Like, nope, I'm not checking stuff. So boundaries can be another one as well. So it all might feel a little bit uncomfortable at first. That's why you might just want to start slow, start small. If not ready to cut off, maybe just reduce the amount of time that you spend with them. If it's a very one-way relationship, if you're the one that's organizing things or, constantly contacting that person and they're not doing the same in return, maybe stop doing that. If you're comfortable with that, and then be prepared for people to come back at you and, get the shits or whatever it might be, because they're like, oh, okay, you're too good for me, you're not talking to me, or whatever it is. Like, all that high school crap will happen likely. And, for me, that's my energy. Like I'm just not there. Not my thing. So some people love creating drama and, poor me. For me, that's like, if you're that person, I don't have the energy for that. Like, I've got enough stuff going on. I don't need to tolerate that crap either. So, so think about people. Mindset is another one. So if you're thinking really negative thoughts, that's something that you may want to declutter. So, simplifying things. So next year, my thing is like, I'm going to be simplifying things. I have like complicated things for a very long time. I run like 4 businesses. I do all the things, and, I will still be doing things. I'm not saying like I'm going to be, becoming a hippie and moving to Byron or something like that, but it'll be simplifying, things that make my life easy. So I've gone back to somebody that washes my car. I'm able to do that. And the amount of work that I can get done while that person washes my car is great, So things about that, you might better like delegate something. If you don't like mowing the lawn and, it makes you really cranky, you might want to delegate that and pay someone to do that a month. There's probably a kid that would do it for like $50 or something like that. You might have to let go if they don't do as good a job as what you might do. But, consider that as well. But, so emotional baggage isn't going to serve you if you have some stuff up there, you might want to consider releasing that. So, you can do that through a hypnotherapy session. You can do that with a counsellor, a psych, if you need to go to that level. But that stuff will catch up with you. So consider that as well. What else? Yeah. So just think it doesn't happen overnight. Don't go too crazy. If you haven't really done it before, be really mindful of what you're doing. So maybe if you're going to start with a physical thing, it's like, okay, so what annoys me, what makes me cranky? And it could be trying to navigate that mug cupboard in the morning to, have your cup of tea. Like that might be what sets you off. It might be that your bathroom is disorganized and it stresses you out, then you get cranky and then you're yelling at the kids to get out the door because you've got the shits because your bathroom isn't organized. Something like that, like whatever that is, start with that. And, it doesn't have to be perfect and, it doesn't have to be Marie Kondo or the home edit organized. If that organization serves you, then do what serves you. Then do that. And then, if you sorted that mug cupboard out or the bathroom out, okay, what's something else that annoys me? So it might be the pantry. I can never find anything. And then I'm ordering the same thing all the time. And then I'll have this shit ton of rice and I don't know what to do with all this rice, for example, or whatever it is. You might want to start with that. You might just want to start with like a kid station or a snack station or like a school station. Like maybe that's enough for the moment. It's clothing can be that's a physical thing, but if you need to go out and buy new clothes because your bras are hanging off and your got holes in your undies, maybe you need to declutter the old ones and go buy yourself some new ones so you feel amazing in them and not looking at them with holes and whatever else. So that could be something else as well. So I would definitely start small. You can definitely get carried away with it. And it's not like you have to do it in the first week. You can declutter whenever. You might want to just declutter something once a month. Even that would make a massive difference. So you might want to declutter with your kids. If your kids have a shit ton of toys and they don't use them, hey, let's donate them to, a charity of some sort, Salvation Army or Vinnie's or something like that. Get your kids involved as well. Be careful if you start throwing stuff out without permission. It probably isn't going to go well, or if you're game to do that, then good luck to you if people start noticing that things are missing. But it might be something that you can do with your kids. So so I suppose the point of this is just maybe have a think about something that you can declutter reasonably easy and have that success. It's like, yes, I just tidied that cupboard. Yay, that's a win. I feel amazing. That's going to make so much difference in the morning. That's kind of taken a little bit out of me. I'll have a think and maybe declutter something else next month. It could be a person, or it might be another thing, or it might be like a mindset shift that you need to make. So, and, try to be consistent. There's a lot of benefits to having, a declutter from both physical things and emotional and people as well. It could be uncomfortable to start with, but, if you're coming home to a nice, clean, organised home, that is going to make you a lot better. You're probably going to be maybe not as cranky if that's making you cranky or frustrated. And then, you're taking that on your partner or your kids or whatever that might be. So there's a lot of benefits to decluttering, but it might just take you a little while if you're not used to it. And there'll be a pile of tools online. As I said, you got Marie Kondo. That's a little bit too extreme for me. I do like the Spark Joy. I do that. It's like, does this Spark Joy? No, it doesn't. It just needs to go. Or the home edit is a good one. My girls love watching that. And of course, it's all bright and colourful. And then they'll have famous people that they do their kitchens or whatever it is. So you might want to have a look at that too. Or just simply start small. You don't even have to get ideas. You don't have to go out and buy expensive containers or anything like that. Most of my stuff came from Kmart or IKEA, cheap ads. So if you've got a Cricut, or you can even order labels online, you can do labels like for your pantry and stuff. So don't think it needs to be complicated or over the top. If it works for you, then that's it. If it works for you, if that's a benefit to your family as well, but if that's going to make your day a lot easier, then do that. So hopefully that's helped. There will be some more decluttering I will do over the Christmas break, I am sure, whether that's physical or people or mental mindset shifts that I need to make as well. But just hope you found this one useful, and as usual, I'll catch you guys later.